Yes, sir. It's your boy Kyle the Kid and Mega the Boy, and welcome to another episode of Vibe with Your Boys podcast. Mega, how you living? How you feeling?
Hey man, this cold got me, bro.
Yeah, you looking a little defeated right now.
Yeah, it got me. But it's straight. I'm a soldier.
You sure?
I'm gonna tug you through.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Bro, it don't give you no warnings, bro. You know how it get a little cold and then get colder. It just got cold out of nowhere,
and then you feeling the out of nowhere effects right now.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I'm straight.
Well, you know, end of year strong, brother. Don't end of year sick.
No, I got one in me every year.
Okay.
Matter of fact, my mom said it to me. He was like, you ain't get sick all year. I'm like, yeah,
okay.
Right. I got one in me. Every year.
So you right on time.
Yeah, I'm not really surprised, to be honest.
Okay, got you. 10-4. 10-4. Hopefully y'all staying warm out there and not like this nigga right here. If you haven't already noticed, we got a very special guest. Long time coming. We got the lovely Piph.
Hey, y'all.
You go by Piph or is it more the full?
I mean, now it's Piph. That's why I introduced myself as like, hi,
Piph?
I'm Epiphany, but affectionately known as Piph.
Affectionately known as Piph.
Yeah.
How you doing, Piph? What's going on?
I'm good. Also getting attacked by the cold. However, I got sick earlier, like a couple months ago. So
okay, so you got them antibodies just already
yeah, my
there.
immunity system is like, up
okay.
right now. My immune system, my fault, is up right now.
You look a lot better than him right now.
I don't got no antibodies.
Antibodies lost.
Antibodyless.
Just right now.
How was y'all Thanksgiving before we escaped?
Oh, how was the Thanksgiving?
Yeah, how was Thanksgiving?
I had a good Thanksgiving, bro. I seen a lot of family on Thanksgiving. Family I ain't seen in a little while.
Somebody was telling you to throw out your leftovers, ain't they?
Yeah, they could mind their business. Yeah.
Nah, because you was eating leftovers today, low key.
No, that was yesterday, but yeah.
Yesterday, what time?
Is that OD though?
That was Sunday night.
Thanksgiving Thursday, Friday for sure.
Friday,
Saturday is definitely for
Sunday.
sure.
Sunday.
Sunday's alright, but you should be wrapping up. You should be wrapping up. But after Sunday, you good. Like,
but it's like when y'all eating the leftovers, you're only eating one meal from the leftovers a day. You feel me? So Friday, you done had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Thanksgiving leftovers.
Nah. It's only one meal. It's only dinner.
And only dinner.
It's only dinner.
well, me this year specifically, I didn't eat my leftovers for Thanksgiving until Sunday.
Okay.
What is Sunday?
Saturday.
All right.
Yeah, I ain't eating on Friday.
Okay, bet.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, there's certain things that get, made again, like rice. Like, you're not still eating, like, rice from, like, Thursday. You know what I'm saying? New pots of rice get made, added on to the leftovers, stuff like that,
It depends how much rice I took. It depends how much rice I took.
Okay, so you might be eating rice from Thursday.
Yeah, for sure. I ain't gonna lie. Whatever I have left is good, bro. I
don't do that too. But, majority of my leftovers is gone. I might have some dressing left, but
because majority is crazy. Like, it should be done. Wrapped, bro. It's Monday night.
But one thing I must say, any dish that got to be ate cold, I'll eat after like maybe a day. Like potato salad,
okay,
like macaroni salad, stuff like that. I don't eat it.
Okay.
Anything with like mayo, shit like that.
Okay. How about your Thanksgiving, Piph? How was it?
My Thanksgiving was actually really good. I hosted Friendsgiving this year on Wednesday. Cause I low key want to host the main dinner in like a couple years, so I'm hoping. I wanted to test the water, see what it's looking like. I'm in my cooking bag as of late. I got a cooking IG. I'm not really sharing it like that, but it's a lot of like plates and recipes and stuff on there.
You throwing down?
So, I don't know about throwing down per se.
She has a cooking page. She's throwing down
because I have there's certain things I'm good at and certain things I ain't good at.
But that's respectful, though. That's
you get what I'm saying? So, like, I'm really good with red meat. So, like, steak, lamb, what's that thing that I be doing? It's a braised short rib. Like, that's my special. So, like, a pot roast, I could do stuff like that.
Pot roast? Okay.
For some reason, with chicken, I don't season it enough. It'd be a little bland. I be thinking it's like popping. They say season till you sneezing. I'm sneezing. And that bitch just still, you feel me? I kind of got to mud it a little bit. Yeah, and then with red meat, the flavor just stick easier. So I don't know. So I'm working on it. I grew up struggling a little bit. So cooking wasn't like, the main thing. I had a lot of frozen dinners and snacks and stuff like that. So trying to get in that bag, learning to cook for real. So we hosted Friendsgiving. I did the turkey wings. Somebody did the mac. You know, like potluck style.
It was a success.
Yeah, it was a test, and it was a success.
It was beautiful. I was there.
It was really nice.
Maybe,
and then on
maybe you'll make the cut next year.
Maybe.
And then on Thanksgiving, I actually got to spend some time with my brother, which was really cool. My family, so it worked out.
Yep, that's one of the best things about the holidays for me is spending time with my family, because it's like if you're not seeing people all throughout the year, that one day make it like more worth it to just like, you know what I'm saying, if you like your family, because, you know, I understand some people don't like their family.
Traumatic for some people.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Thanksgiving be the day from hell for some people.
I understand.
Full-blown Medea movie.
Yeah.
I understand.
Bro.
How's your year been, Piph? Like, what's been going on? Everything's been smooth. Piph been going up. What's up?
My year's been interesting. At the beginning of the year, I hit the ground running. I did shows.
I remember you was booked and busy.
Every weekend from January 1st to like May 30th. I had a show every weekend. And I was like, sometimes too, it just was like I was hit the ground running. So then I hit a wall in May. And then I just kind of went into myself, stopped going outside for real, and just started working. And then I want to say like a month ago, I started working on my second book and started working out, just really finding myself again after like burning myself out. I think I was doing a lot of shows and it was cool to be seen, but it wasn't really productive for what my plan and goal was. So it was like I kind of felt like I was on a hamster wheel. So the front half of the year was cool, and then the middle half was weird. And then it always happened like this because my birthday's in January. So then I start getting excited in December, and I get
that
real
motivation,
and I got plans. And so again, I just have to find a way to maintain that steam after like the first 2 quarters next year. So
Got you. Now, I'll say probably for like the last 2 years, I've become more acquainted with Piph. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you seem like a no-nonsense type of person. Like when it comes to like people coming to you with BS.
oh, for sure.
Yeah, you know, I see some tweets and, you know, social media postings and IGs and stuff like that. So one of the questions I want to ask you about this year, Piph, have you had to cut anybody off?
Yeah. But not anybody important for real.
I mean, if they're not important, why would they need to be cut off? Like,
they were being annoying.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they were just being annoying. And it was like, I think people grossly underestimate how easy it is to like irritate me. Like I'm easily irritated. Like, and sometimes people just do too much. And so somebody will like overplay their part, think they more important to me than they are, and aggravate me. And then I'd be like, hey, chill out. I don't ever really like cut somebody off first quarter unless they do something egregious, like you know, overtly disrespectful. Usually I'm like, hey, you kind of mutting it. And then after that, if they don't listen, I just block everybody and move on, man. So
you more of a block with warning or block without warning? Like,
I block with warning because I don't like to block. Because once I block you, it's not coming back from me.
You never unblock nobody? That's crazy.
Once I block you, it's over with.
I can't hit you.
I can't hit the switch. I made a decision. It's over with.
I can't hit you from some.
Mega trying to call my BS, bro.
Ain't nobody that you unblock ever.
No, I have.
Right,
Okay.
But I don't. It's not a regular
Okay,
thing. The person that I unblocked, we text, and I was like, blocked again.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? I learned yeah. But it was one person.
Okay. Well, shout out to one. You know what I'm saying? Hope you...
Capricorns, leave them alone. Go ahead.
You blocked the Capricorn?
I did.
But you a Capricorn.
I did. I know.
So are you saying leave yourself alone? What's going on?
No.
Conflicting interests here.
Male Capricorns are the issue.
But Piph, you know I'm
I understand.
a male Capricorn.
I understand. I'm just saying. Even the person that you asked me if I cut off was a different male Capricorn.
Or they got multiple different
Oh, we ain't cut from the same Capricorn cloth.
I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I don't know you like that to know. You know what I mean? But they were cut from the same cloth for sure.
I understand.
Same behavior. Leaving them alone. Because I don't be trying to believe in the Zodiac stuff. You feel me? So I be giving everybody a chance.
Yeah. Throw it out the window. The whole book. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to give people a chance, but y'all don't fare well, man.
that's crazy. I thought we was well liked, but I kind of want to get, being that this is our first time sitting down with you, I kind of want to get a bit into like your background as far as the Piph we know and love today. Where did poetry come from? Like, how did you know you had a way with words and you could put it together to affect people?
So I thought I was gonna be a rapper. So I wrote verses first. That didn't work. I thought I was gonna be a singer, but I couldn't remember the melody. So then my brother was like, "You should try poetry," and I was like, "What is that?" So I tried poetry and fell in love with poetry immediately. So whatever else I was trying to do wasn't what I was meant to do. I felt like it was just me finding my way to what I was supposed to do. My brother told me to write poetry at a time where we were like going through some real traumatic stuff as like a family unit, and I just needed to get stuff out. And I was an avid reader. From first to like sixth grade, I was averaging like 30 books a year. And then all of that slowed down dramatically. You know, middle school, things get hectic. You start hanging out, doing stuff with your friends for real, like having a life. And then high school came around, and that slowed down again. So I'm like down to like 6 books a year as an adult. But I was an avid reader.
6 more than me.
I was an avid reader as a kid. So it just came easy. It just was natural. I genuinely, honestly believe like I was called to be a poet. I'm just a poet by nature. Spoken word, writing a book, publishing a book, performing, all of that is just like expression. But if no one ever heard me, I would still write poetry.
Mm-hmm. So. And from what age did you start writing poetry? 11. Even though I'm sure you have so much further to go, could you imagine that it would get you to this point to where, no? Not at all.
I didn't think that was. I thought I would be famous for singing because that's what everybody else liked. That's what everybody else pushed. I did 4 years of vocal at Dillard. I was singing in middle school. I was singing at church. So I just thought that was gonna be the route. And then things just kind of hit a pivot at like 16. My creative writing teacher had me audition for a writing competition, a spoken word competition at school. But she told me 2 days before, all the other competitors had already had time to like practice their stuff. They knew what they was doing. I had never done this before, ever. I pull up to the classroom. I kill it. I'm talking about standing ovation, being everybody else. And the judges were like, "We would love to send you with your poems not memorized." And that just put a battery in my back. I was like, I'm never losing another competition again. And then I just started performing from there and competing from there. And then I realized like I could perform in opportunities and that people would pay me. So,
is there I know that moment had to be a defining moment for you, but is there another defining moment to where you looked at poetry and was like, I can like do this as a profession and support myself off of it?
Yeah, I was commissioned by the Pro Football Hall of Fame to write a poem for the Hall of Fame, and I was like, yeah, bet. Like I can that can work. I was commissioned with a group of poets, but I had written for them before because I was working for I used to work for Jason Taylor. So
he was big in poetry.
Yeah.
I don't know if he still is, but I remember that at one point he was very big in poetry.
Doing what, writing for him?
No, so I was so Omari Hardwick, the Omari Hardwick Blue Apple Poetry Network is like a sub organization under the Jason Taylor Foundation. But we were a small team. So I started off as a student of the program, became a like administrative assistant, eventually ended up being the director of the program. And so I was overseeing poetry in like 70 schools in the Tri-County area, 50 to 70 schools in the Tri-County area.
This was in high school?
No. This is like adulthood.
Okay.
But the commission for writing the book came when Jason got inducted. Me, Omari Marnino, and the like executive director of the entire thing, we all wrote a poem for Jason. We put that on YouTube. That became a thing. So then the Pro Football Hall of Fame reached out to us again to write another poem about, it was like the preseason game or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was like for the Hall of Fame. But the check that they wrote us, I was like, what?
I could get used to this.
I ain't do nothing for this for real. So if I could do that,
I got more.
it's more where that came from. So that was cool. At that time, I had like just quit the job low key. I just needed more out of life, more out of my situation.
Your position in that
at that organization.
Okay.
So I quit that, got paid for doing the Hall of Fame thing, and then I had a gig like right after that. And she had reached out to me. She asked for my number. I gave her a number. She was like, "We're gonna try to get you a little bit more." I said, "Okay, cool." And then so she got me a little bit more, and then like we were having a conversation aside afterwards, and she was like, "You should really charge more." And I felt like I was mutting it. Like, truthfully, I felt like I was asking for a lot already. So between those two situations, I was like, I could really live off of this if I, like, push myself. And I did for, like, a year and a half. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so.
We'll talk about the numbers.
See what they're looking like. You know what I'm saying? So, through that experience of, I guess, being under the Jason Taylor Foundation and Omari Hardwick Poetry Network, that opportunity for the Pro Football Hall of Fame came about. Mm-hmm. What did you actually go there as well? Or?
Yeah, but I didn't go there when I did the poem the second time. I went there the first time when Jason got inducted.
And how was that experience like? Because were you like really somebody who paid attention enough to football to really understand the magnitude of like what was going on?
Absolutely love football. My brother played football growing up, so I'm gonna say it's my favorite sport because it's the only sport I'm gonna watch. Honestly, I also watch a little bit of baseball, but that's it. So love football. Understood the magnitude of what was going on. I was helping prep because again, I was the director of like this sub or working at that time. I was the like administrative assistant for this one part of the organization, but also I like I said, we're a small team, so whatever happens on one side still has to help the other side. You know what I mean? So I prepared backpacks and invitations. Like, we had to prepare for Channing Crowder to come and for the Pouncey brothers to come. Like, everybody came to support. So we had to prep for that whole situation. So we understood that it was a big deal. Omari had flown into Canton. Like, so we knew. Oh.
Now, one thing that I've seen is that you've mentioned Omari as a mentor to you. Mm-hmm. How did that mentorship come about? Of course, you were under his network and things of that nature, but of course, I'm sure a lot of people were. How did he become a mentor to you?
So I did that competition I told y'all about in class that introduced me to the program. They had another like slam, like I said. I wasn't going to lose again. So I auditioned for the other slam. When I auditioned, I didn't even realize he was in the room. So I did my poem. It was a very, like, heart-wrenching, vulnerable poem. I was still living in whatever I was talking about. And towards the end, I noticed him. So I told my mom, like, hey, that's the actor from BET. No, he wasn't even Ghost at that point.
Oh. Was that the Tyler Perry movie?
Not even a Tyler. He wasn't a Tyler Perry, but I referenced him from this movie called Everyday Black Man. He was like this very mean character that sold bean pies. Like, it was such a niche movie. And I told my mom, and my mom was like, oh. So, mind you, I don't even really know if she recognized him. She, Haitian.
Yeah.
But I told her he was from BET, and that's all she needed to know. So I walk up to him, basically about to fangirl, and he starts, like, reciting stuff from my poem to me.
Oh, wow.
Like, before, I'm like, hey, like, before I can even get the words out. And I was like, oh, he's cool. Like, for real, he's just chill. And from that point on, like, it was just love. So we seen each other again. Another time he came down. And then I shot my shot, asked for mentorship. You know what I mean? What can you help me with? Da-da-da-da. And he actually put me in touch with his wife, who's really a more intimate mentor than he is. So I was really close to her for a long time. And then I didn't even, like, process that he was Ghost for real because he would tell us not to watch the show because we was jits. So, like, you know what I mean? So I didn't really watch the show until I turned 18.
Wow. Okay.
So that's when I realized like, oh, he's a big deal. And like, but for me, from jump, he was always Omari, and he was always Omari Hardwick. And then by the time he was like ghost to everybody else, he'd already been a mentor to me for real. So yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
So that's kind of a behind the scenes of how you can see somebody, they have an impact on your life, but then they move up in life to where everybody sees them as something else, but you see them as somebody who was there for you early in your poetry beginnings, and through him and his wife, they helped you mature.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That is like, the two of them as a pair have been the most impactful, or some of the most impactful. I have another mentor, Darius Daughtry, who was my mentor before they really came. They came in the fold at the same time, but my experience with him was more on a regular basis. I saw him more often, but the three of them have like really shaped who I am as a person for sure. So,
what's the relationship like today
with them? Still present, still active. I was super close with them in like 2022. I was around them a lot. And they kind of encouraged me to do a lot. I feel like that's why I ended up publishing the book and stuff like that. Just having
that battery in your back.
That battery in my back. He just expects more of me as a person. Like, he just doesn't allow me to feel sorry for myself. And he also doesn't allow me to like be too humble, which is nice. But he also reminds me to remain humble in that same breath. It's like, you know, don't lose perspective, but also stop acting regular. And that was important for me to hear, because I'm gonna be honest, your friends tell it to you, your family tell it to you, but it almost feel like y'all just saying that. You know what I mean?
That's what you gotta say.
You gotta say that. You know what I mean? But with somebody who's done the work, somebody that you've seen do the work,
and who doesn't have to BS you,
who doesn't have to BS you because they don't gain anything from the situation, looks at you and they're like, "Hey, you really like that?" I'll be like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'm tripping."
You sure?
No, I've had moments like that for real. One of the most recent things he said to me was like, he's praying that I find a passion and like a sustained passion. And like poetry, I am passionate about poetry, but I do be losing my steam. But I don't lose my steam because I don't believe myself. Life just be happening for real. But like I said, to have somebody who's in a place of achievement, his wife included, right? She's not a superstar celebrity, but she's a phenomenal woman. She's a strong woman. She's a smart woman. And so for her to also look at me and say, like, you really have what it takes is very important for me as well. So, yeah.
I think it's always dope to see, like, celebrities or quote-unquote actors, the background. Because when you look at actors, a lot of them are really into the arts, like different arts. And acting is just something they got famous for, but there's like different loves and interests that they really devote their time to on the come up. So I always find that very dope. So now as we sit in 2024, going into 2025, what does Piph want to do with poetry in 2025? I know you said you're beginning to start on your second book. So what is poetry moving forward in 2025 for Piph?
Ideally, I would go on a tour. I think I'm ready for that. I think I've, like, as a woman, but also as a poet, I need to, like, step a little bit harder and go a little bit harder. And I think I'm making room for that now. I'm making adjustments, certain sacrifices, decisions, plans. So I would like to go on a tour. I would like to push the second book. I want to venture into music. I just don't know what it looks like. I'm very wary, I think is the right word, about like being pigeonholed. Like, I don't want somebody to try to box me in to something. You know what I mean? And I feel like we have too much. I have too much talent in me, but we also have too much resource for someone to try to like brand me as one thing. And I feel like every time I've tried to collaborate with people, they're like, we don't get it. I'm like, what's there not to get? I do spoken word and I can sing. So I'll find a way to make both of them part of the show. You know what I mean? I think they're both entertaining. Yeah. So tour, promoting the book. I would like to be more visible. So whether it be performing or just things like this, just making sure Piph is in everybody's mouth, basically. Like, everybody just, is talking about me.
I seen something recently that says people who have one talent look at people who have several talents as all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, they can't fathom that you can be good at this and be good at that and be good at this, and you want to show all that you can do and not be boxed in.
Yeah.
And I think that's important because we had the pleasure of having Piph lay some vocals down on a project that we put out this year. And at the listening party, when we said, like, oh, Piph is on the track, people like, you guys got Piph to get on the track or whatever? Because certain people, I'm sure, like, who they are, always, try to push you to do more music and things like that. Yeah. So it was like people were excited, that you even took that small step to do that. So I feel like if that's what you, want to incorporate into your art, why not? Like, nobody should try to box you in, because you taking that initiative to mesh that with your art could be the thing that sets the tone to take it even higher.
Yeah.
So I think that's dope. Yeah. I kind of want to get your input on certain things that's been going on.
Nothing.
What happened?
Ready. Nothing.
What happened?
I'm ready.
She's ready.
She's ready? Recently, in entertainment in general, there's been like a lot going on, whether it's cases and people going to jail, getting locked up, or just people beefing. When, like, you look at where you want to go, does celebrity interest you at all? Like, when you see certain stuff, like, do you think you can handle, like, celebrity being famous?
I think I can handle fame. I don't particularly like fame because people get weird. Like, even now, right? Oh, you're a superstar. Hey, superstar, you so, I don't know where that's coming from. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't like the energy that be on it when they say that. If you think I'm raw, just say I'm raw. Like, if I like you as an artist, I like you as a poet, and it could be that. But you calling me a superstar or talking about fame, to me is like you're more interested in how other people are responding to me, not whatever response I'm eliciting. You get what I'm saying? You're just telling me, I notice other people are looking at you. Okay, like, what that got to do with me? You know what I mean? Like, do you like me? Do you enjoy my art? Do you enjoy what I do? So I'm not really excited about that part. I also am, like, socially anxious, for real. Like, in real life, I really be nervous before I walk into a place. So to walk into a place and everybody knows who I am, and I always pull up by myself, I just be like, damn. Like, sometimes I just be wanting to be a fly on the wall. So I've been, like, going to open mics where I don't know anybody. You know what I mean? Just to, like, be calm. But there's not an event in Broward that I've pulled up in the past 3-4 years where I didn't know somebody. And that was like, how does this feel for people who are, like, superstars for real? I'm just like, all right. So do I think I can handle it? Yeah, because I feel like my gift and my calling is bigger than me. I don't feel I ain't asked for this. Like I said, I tried to do other stuff. I've tried to do other stuff. Me even trying to do something regular or working a regular job is what's pulled me away from this, but I still find myself back in these spaces and doing these things. So I feel like, I kind of got to go wherever I'm being led to go, whatever that looks like. But to answer your question, yes, I can handle it. I just don't know how much I like it.
How often do you see people trying to get next to you that are not really interested in what you do, but they see the attention you get? Or like maybe like a guy who has an interest in you, he pretends to have an interest in what you do, but really doesn't either support it or talk about it as much. Like how?
I've had people try to get close to me because of the attention that I got, and that was uncomfortable because it was people that I grew up with and that I knew. So it was like, why are you being extra right now? Like, it's really cool. I've had instances where that's happened, and like, I was told that same person was talking about me behind my back. So then it was like awkward because it's like you pulled up and now you lovey-dovey, but like, I know you was talking about me, and I know you was talking about me because that person told me you said ABC, and when you came and told me the story, you said AC. You left the part out when it was you talking. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's weird, and like, you're only doing this because I'm getting attention. That's awkward because I really rock with you. So why you being weird? I've had people try to be close to me thinking they could get close to Omari. I like I don't know how he gonna feel if he ever see this, but like, somebody walked up to Omari and was like, "Hey Omari, I know Piph," and he was like, "That's how you introduce yourself to me?" Like, pod him. So it was like, what was the point of even saying? You know what I'm saying? What was
like it was like a family member. Like, you know how you say, like, you meet somebody who's like, "Oh, that's so and so brother." "Oh, you so and so brother?" I'm saying, like, it's like, what's the point?
Like, what you want me to do with this information? You get what I'm saying? But you so eager to be close to somebody. You so eager to get next to him. You trying to use whatever leverage you think you have. But, like, it don't work like that. So I've seen people be weird. I don't think I've had an instance where a man has pretended to like poetry. He either did or he didn't. But I'm obviously going to gravitate more towards somebody who shows interest in it. I would prefer to not deal with another artist, but
oh really? Okay.
I don't be trying to do that because I have a bit of an ego. I'm not.
You want to be the star? Damn, that's crazy.
It's not that I want to be the star. I want to be level, right? So if I do date another artist, we kind of got to be on the same, you know what I mean? I support you, you support me. I've had a lot of instances where, like, I've started talking to somebody, and no shade, no tea, because SoundCloud is what it is. I got stuff, but they really, like, never gonna be more than a SoundCloud rapper. Damn. And you can tell. But they talking to me like I'm lame, like I'm buzzard, and I'm like,
I'm really her for real.
This is awkward because, again, we're gonna walk into the same event in this city, and I'm gonna get a different reaction, and I don't want things to be weird, and I've just experienced that, and I just would rather not. Again, I feel like the only reason a lot of people rock with me the way that they do is because I'm chill. It really isn't even too much about the craft. That's why it throws me off when people feel away. People are nice to Piph because Piph is nice to people. I just, you know what I mean? I'm relatable. I talk to people. I laugh with people. And that's what they're gravitating towards. I also happen to be talented. So then when you approach me like I'm lame, that's kind of weird because I don't believe that. And I know I'm not. You know what I mean? So that's really what it's been. If I meet an artist who's like, both of us are just aggressively chasing a dream and both of us are really fly, then that can work. But that hasn't been my experience.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So this SoundCloud rapper, when was the last time you spoke to this SoundCloud rapper?
Earlier this year, somebody tried to get at me. You know what I mean? It's just being weird. Like, men in general. Sorry, y'all boys. Men in general, you know, are kind of weird sometimes. People are kind of weird, but I don't date people. I date men. So, you know,
gotta clarify it.
Yeah, are kind of weird. So they just approach you differently.
Do men come at you with like
roses are red?
Nah, niggas be writing poetry for real, like, and I be like, what's up with you? Nah,
that's crazy. Do you ever get hit like with like a jealous energy, or like, you know how sometimes where they say like men who get with women who either make more than them or do more than them start to, you know, I don't know, feel inferior, and they let that show. Has that happened with you, or not yet, or not at all?
No, I usually date men who make more than me. I also usually date men who are older, so it's like they're not crazy amount older. They're just a little bit older, but they're more settled in life. So that's usually not a topic of conversation. I think the only times I've had some type of friction is somebody feeling like So like I've had people go like, you think you smarter than me. And that's a fair assessment. I probably do think I'm smarter than you. That doesn't mean I'm smarter than you, but I do probably believe that. So that makes sense that you would feel like that in this moment. You know what I'm saying? Or like, no. It's not that. I've had people that I actually respect and think are smart. They've told me like, oh, you have a God complex or whatever. So I think that there are times where I can be a bit know-it-all-ish or whatever, but I just be confident in what I'm saying. And then when I get new information, if my opinion changes, I'm going to tell you that I changed my opinion. But right now, I'm just confident about what I'm saying.
And I believe what I'm saying.
I believe what I'm saying. If you got more information that's going to make me stop believing what I'm saying, I can respect that. You just can't right now. And you just mad because you don't have whatever information you need to have the conversation that you're trying to have.
I identify as Piph right now.
So,
Because I feel that. I feel that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I feel that 100.
But I don't deal with jealousy from men that I can sense.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I don't know if they ever felt it, but I've never.
Got you.
Again, I'm a sweetheart, man.
All right. Now let's talk about these bars, this music.
Speaking of being wrong.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite artists? I know you said you got into music. That's what you thought you was gonna be initially, a rapper. Who's some of your favorite artists?
In general, we specifically
In general,
talking about rap.
in general.
Jasmine Sullivan, Andre 3000. I love Andre 3000. Rex Life Raj is a rapper that I'm really into.
Mm-hmm.
Summer Walker, I like the color of her voice. If we go like songwriters, it'd be like Stevie Wonder, James Fauntleroy. Those are really phenomenal songwriters. Yeah, and then I really listen to my friends a lot. Like I had a year where my on repeat was Greatness, Savannah, Bliss, Zay France. Like these were all
very talented
yeah.
people.
So I don't know. Yeah.
I seen you say that in high school, J. Cole, like you was a big J. Cole.
Huge J. I was a fan of the big three. They was popping when I was in high school.
Oh,
It was Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of them, honestly.
I like the order you put it in too.
What I said?
Drake, J. Cole, and Kendrick.
Oh, okay.
Very respectable.
Yeah. That didn't mean anything, by the way. That just happened to be what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I had a crush on everybody, so it didn't matter. It didn't matter to me, honestly.
What about J. Cole's music that like you feel like you grew out of? Because of course I know you still like respect him and love his music, but it's not like how it once was for you.
Relatability. I just can't relate anymore. But
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't mean that it's like less impactful. Like
It had its place in time.
yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not about to sit here and act like poor Antonio wasn't bar after bar. He
Mm-hmm.
really wrote his ass off on the record.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't deny that. He had records on Might Delete Later that were amazing. It's
Mhm.
just not my cup of tea where I'm at, where my ear is. But yeah, that's it.
Were you let down recently when he decided to not participate in the rap beef and the lyrical warfare?
Not at all. Not at all.
Why not?
He just wasn't built for that. And we see where it went. I just think he knew a lot more than we knew. Those are his people. They have real conversations with each other.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what we didn't know. He knew where it was about to go. And he knew it wasn't finna be just rap. And it ended up not being just rap. If it were pen for pen, and me, I honestly believed Drake and Kendrick was finna be toe to toe. I thought this was finna be a close match.
Boy, did we all.
And in my heart of hearts, I'm not about to sit here and cap. I definitely thought Kendrick was gonna take it, but I didn't think Kendrick was gonna wash him. I didn't think that's how that was finna go.
Okay, wait.
He washed him.
We know what happened, but you don't have to say it so blatant.
Oh, but he washed him. Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna happen. And the crazier part about it is all of that happened because the man was being emotional. That's crazy to me. It's not that you don't have the talent, the resource, the access to producers or whatever. You just got emotional and misplayed your hand.
Elaborate on that. The emotional part.
You talking about Drake?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I rap better than y'all. You beat your wife. Where? How is that your response? I rap better than y'all. I'm going to poke you a little bit. I mean, y'all are men. You get what I'm saying? You going to test something a little bit. But he didn't go, like, low until bro went low. And then he told bro, like, hey.
If you do this, I'm going to.
Don't do this. Yeah. I just want to rap. And bro doubled down on the first thing and added another. You misplayed your hand. Now he's angry. And he has the skill and the resource, the Grammy and the Pulitzer to really, like, play in your face.
What's a Pulitzer? Like, what's the significance of that?
It's the equivalent of, like, a Grammy for, like, art, for
writers.
Forms of art. That's all it is. It's just saying he's, like, a really good artist conceptually and a really good writer. I think that they have different categories for, like, film or whatever like that. He just happened to get it for whatever project he got it for.
Real quickly, back to Cole. Do you feel like he's neck and neck with them as far as rapping ability?
Ability, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can say it. He low-key better than he's low-key better than them, if I'm being honest. If I'm being honest with you. He's definitely better than Drake. For sure. The only reason he's not all the way better. So him and Kendrick are neck and neck, and here's the reason for me. Cole does the generalized rapping, the essence of what rap is. Cole does that a lot better than the rest of them. As far as concept, art, imagery, metaphors, extended metaphors, Kendrick does that better. And so for me, like, you could really go neck and neck. It's like the Biggie Pac debate, right? Pac was more authentic. He was real. He was
hit
relatable.
Your soul more.
You get what I'm saying? He knew how to tug on the heartstring. Biggie found a pocket and could make you a hit anytime. They'll say that it had to do with the creepy guy that was his producer and his manager, but I don't think that was the case. I really feel like Biggie had the skill. He was just, you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, so then you can have that conversation about who's better because you can make the argument. Mm-hmm. And so I really feel like that's how it is between Kendrick and Cole when it comes to rap. Drake. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Drake.
No. Drake. Just before she go there, I actually feel like Cole rapping ability, just like lyrical, is I got him over Kendrick, but I think why Cole constantly is looked at lower than Kendrick is because of what you call projects, like as far as projects released. I feel like Kendrick has a stronger body of work. Mm-hmm. Even though Cole has dropped more, after Forest Hills Drive, it kind of was like, what's the direction here? Like, where's the classics? Where's the abilities there, but the fluency of the project, hasn't been there. To be honest, might delete later some of his best work in a while to me. For Your Eyes Only and KOD, it was cool. KOD, you know what I'm saying, had some nice,
I love KOD, I'm not gonna hold you.
I like KOD, but
it definitely, my deleted for sure was better than that.
Yeah, so, and that's not even a real project. That's just something to hold us off the show. Is like, I really do this for real. So, that's where I am. I feel like J. Cole raps better than Kendrick, but Kendrick has the content, the projects to really show like why there's a difference. Now back to Drake. What you about to say about Drake? When it comes to them two?
I feel like Kendrick said it best.
We like Drake with the melodies?
Yeah.
You don't like Drake when he acting tough?
I'm not about to sit here and act like this man not raw when he get into that little rapper singer bag for sure. His timestamp records are also really good.
The Heart series or the timestamp series? Which one do you like better? It's not that hard.
It is.
No, it's not.
The Heart series. You forced my hand. I'm not.
You're saying that just because.
I'm not saying it just because.
No,
I can't
really
give you any
it.
bars from the timestamp records. I'm not gonna hold you. I can't. I
give you a bar from the part 5.
I can't. Yeah, I can't give you. I can't. Huh?
Let me hear it.
No, I can't. I can't give you any bars right now because I'm on the spot. But I can't give you any bars from the timestamp records because I'll tell you what. They don't have replay value to me. But that doesn't mean they're not good. I just don't re-listen. Art is subjective. I have my own palette. Yeah, it really is. I can't even give you a he's 6 a.m. somewhere, right? That's one.
6 p.m. in New York.
Mm-hmm.
You know
5 a.m. in Toronto. 4 p.m. in Calabasas.
Don't know that one.
4 p.m. in Calabasas?
Don't know that
one.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
that one. That might be top 2.
Yeah, don't know that one. But I know that when I hear it on an album, I'm like, oh, okay. Because to me, that's always the record where he's like, I'm a rapper. And I'm like, oh, okay. But that's not what I'm listening to the most. I'm going to listen to a Get Along Better, a Green Text, a Sticky. Like, I know what I'm going to listen to over and over again.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that as far as, and that kind of where it hurts Drake because he makes so much other versions of music besides just pure rap that some of his fan base is mixed, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of them may like the Stickies and stuff like that. I've probably heard Sticky like 3 times. That's what I'm that whole house project, I go straight to Jimmy Cook's. This how sticky it gets. Yeah. I don't fool with Sticky. But I think, well, is Kendrick in the running for greatest of all time? Let's say
for me or for the public?
Publicly.
As of late, yeah. I don't know how he's gonna sustain that. But
I seen Elliot Wilson. You know who Elliot Wilson is. He said right now it's Hove and Kendrick.
Kendrick has to move forward with PG Lang in a way that like makes a name for himself. He has to do the whole rebrand pivot thing for that to be applicable, in my opinion.
Got you.
You could call him a GOAT when it comes to rapping if you want to, like the skill set. But I think Lil Wayne and Jay-Z made that name for themselves not off of their ability alone to rap. I think they did it as brands. I think they shifted
their offspring.
Yeah, it was impact. And so this year he's had a lot of impact for sure. I feel like that first, when they were really dropping links, songs every day, people started writing for real. They started coming back with the freestyles. They scaled back a little bit on the mumble rap, on the dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, rappers were really, like, taking their step forward, which I think is impactful. You made people push their pen. If you can keep doing that, then I think you'll have an argument for it. But I don't know if we have the attention span for it, to be honest. And it's not because I think that, like, what he does, you have to be a scholar to understand. I just think he's shown he's an acquired taste. What he wants to do is an acquired taste. But he, with GNX, was proving like, I could do radio stuff if y'all want radio stuff. If you want something to dance to, I can do that. But that's not what I signed up for. That's not what I want to do. But if you want me to get y'all attention, I can do that. I think he showed that with Damn. These were all like movie placement ass records. When he did the Black Panther soundtrack, these were all, you know what I mean? Like, he showed that I can appeal to y'all, but that isn't what I think he wants to do at his heart of hearts. You know what I mean? So,
to kind of piggyback off that question you asked, and let me preface it with this. I'm a big Kendrick Lamar fan. As many people don't believe this, because it's like, whatever.
You're a bigger Drake fan.
Yes, but I'm a big like you said. The big 3 was literally my growing up. So I don't want to make sound hating on Kendrick, but I do feel like Kendrick was one of those. You watch House of Dragon or you watch like Game of Thrones, and it's like that son that's like that's the one that's gonna take us when I'm gone. Like, he's gonna take over this throne. If you think about the West Coast before Kendrick, there was nobody that was in running for that. The Game was probably the biggest one out of the West Coast after Tupac, and he wasn't going to do it. But when Kendrick came along, it's just like he had the talent to do it, he had the persona to do it, and he was so West Coast. It's like, you're the one to take us there. And I feel like that really catapulted Kendrick to like this level where he can't do no wrong. And that's why I feel like that's my issue with not Kendrick fans. I'd be like, y'all didn't like, not you, y'all didn't like the Pimp a Butterfly that much. But y'all gonna force yourself to like it because it's like the right thing to do, because the time it came out was so like
2017, right there.
Like so much turmoil was going on. When Pimp a Butterfly came out, you gotta think about it. The Trayvon Martin,
Mike Brown.
It was that music was like, that's what I compare it to. When you're walking down Publix and somebody give you a church pamphlet, whether or not you want to take it or not, you're gonna take it because like, I kind of have to take this. It's the right thing to do. But then as soon as you get a chance to, you're gonna throw it out the window. You're not gonna listen to the music no more. When's the last time you listened to Pimp a Butterfly?
Recently, actually.
Makes sense because there's a lot of Kendrick going on. But before that,
like it's an album that you frequent back to.
Yeah, but that's because it came again. It was at that time. So you're saying it was at that time because it's something that you want to like. But at that time, everybody was wearing the like bohemian garb. They were wearing the hipster. You know what I'm saying? It was the wave. I think people genuinely liked it because that was really what was happening. Me particularly, the community that I was in, I was at a performing arts school.
Right.
We were doing live instrumentation. We were doing live arrangements. We were doing things like that. So I'm going to gravitate naturally towards something that has a sax, that has a whatever. Right. You get what I'm saying? I genuinely appreciate. I'm also a poet. I'm gonna gravitate towards something that has a concept, has an extended metaphor, has some. You know what I'm saying? Like that was gonna happen. So I don't know if that's how everybody else was responding to it, but I know that my community was genuinely. I have videos of us rapping all right, word for word, me and my homies, and we had just heard the album on the plane. Like we were traveling from here to Chicago to go perform poetry and knew it word for word. I have a video of another poet sitting in the room and we're breaking down bars like it was a Rap Genius session. That was just the community that I was in. Right. So my reality isn't like we were just forcing ourselves to like it. We genuinely liked it because that was like the pro era. Yeah. We were on the tails of that. Like that's really what was going on. But you enjoyed everybody for what they could do. Drake was on one end, Kendrick was on one end, and Cole was in the middle. You know what I mean? You appreciated everybody for what they could do.
Yeah. But to end off my point, I feel like how you kind of mentioned it earlier, Kendrick is very Tupac-ish in the sense of he knows how to pull at the heartstring, which is what, even to this point with the Not Like Us thing, he pulled out the heartstring of the West Coast. Like, you really try to turn the West Coast technically on me, whatever. And he know how to pull out the heartstrings. So he does that really well. He did that with the Pimp a Butterfly. He's doing it now, whatever the case may be. But it's like, I feel like we're forced to like him because it's like, he don't give us no reason not to like him. And that's the fan, like his fan base. I'm like, that's my problem with his fan base. It's like, y'all don't really too much like love the music that much. But y'all kind of have to. Because he gives us no reason not to.
I think it's more so when you see people say like when they hype up, squabble up, to be like, this.
It's such a great song. It's like, if J. Cole would have given us the same song, if J. Cole would have given us the same song, y'all would have said it was crazy.
Yeah. No.
I'm not the right person.
Because
I enjoyed Grippy. I'm not going to hold you.
What's Grippy?
Grippy is they're calling Cash Cobain. It's a foolish song.
He was like, Grippy, that song that he made. Yeah. It came out recently.
Foolish song, but I enjoy it. I just feel like I respect it as an artist. It don't have to be Grammy Award winning content.
Oh no, yeah,
time.
for sure.
That's my problem. My problem is not that you like the song, but let's not overhype it.
Like
But it's overhyped to you because you don't enjoy it. No, that's like me eating pie that you don't like, and I'm like, this is delicious, and you're like, hold your horses.
Let's get this out of the way. I really like GNX. I feel like that's his best album after them. Not album, project, because he dropped other little projects. His best project after them. But it's like, I see people saying it's a classic. Come on, let's relax, bro. It's a good project. It's a really, really good project.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? But like, don't overhype it. Give him reasons to be like, okay, this is it. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Fair.
Don't let your hate for Drake overhype this man. That's all I'm saying.
I don't got no hate.
No.
I'm just saying in general.
But I feel like, I don't know. I don't see that enough. I don't see.
Mega, can you give a reason why Drake is better than Kendrick? Rapping wise?
That's like bars for bars?
Yeah, like rapping wise. Like,
I think he's more versatile than Kendrick. And I think Kendrick fooled people with his like aggression that he rap with.
And subject matter.
And subject matter, like he pulls at the heartstrings. Like when you listen to Kendrick, you be like, damn, I felt that. But it's like versatility wise, I don't think he's over Drake.
I can respect that. What topics do you feel like Drake has covered that is like more versatile?
What you talking about like matter? Or you talking about just like
just topics in general? I feel like
when you said versatile, when you said versatile, what did you mean?
The different ways he delivers stuff.
Okay.
I was talking about emotional delivery.
So singing and rapping.
Not even when Drake is not singing like melodically, but certain flows that pockets he get in is like, I think it's more like appealing.
Okay.
But even like subject matters, like Kendrick does it more because Kendrick, that's his bag. If Drake does it, he's gonna get flack for it, and he addressed it in plenty of songs. Drake can't talk about certain things that Kendrick can talk about, not because he doesn't have the ability to, but he's a white Jewish Canadian kid from Canada. So it's not going to be delivered the same way. It's not going to be accepted the same way. What do you know about this? If Drake come and talk about killings in his neighborhood, or whatever the case may be, or whatever, or like turmoil that's going on in his neighborhood, it's not going to be taken the same way as Kendrick talking about something that's going in Compton.
Right, because Kendrick lived it. So can Drake talk about things that he lived that don't have to be killings in his neighborhood?
He do. That's why we fell in love with Drake. He talked about stuff that he lived growing up.
Like what? Outside of the girls and the heartbreak?
I mean, he lived it.
I mean, that's it. That's what I'm saying when it comes to versatility.
Drake grew up in a split family. A lot of people could relate to that. His mom, he lived with his mom, but he traveled to go to his black dad's side. He's seen a lot of different stuff. He speaks about that a lot. And then when he does speak about it, it's like, okay, another light-skinned story or like split family story.
So why do you think that they respond to him that way versus J. Cole? Because they're both biracial.
I think it's the ways they look at J. Cole differently.
Well, it's the Canadian factor. It's the fact that we've seen Drake grow up on TV. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people have this perception that he was rich.
Jimmy. Yeah.
He was rich growing up off of Degrassi. And then it's also how J. Cole presents himself. When J. Cole drops a song like Work Out, it's not because he wanted to. Yeah. It's because Jay-Z told him he had to. Mm-hmm. Or whatever. J. Cole, Friday Night Lights and everything, that's why people fell in love with J. Cole. It wasn't the flash, the glamour. Even the J. Cole now, I don't know if he's still, but up until a few years ago, he's riding around on a bike. Mm-hmm. Just more relatable.
He's more relatable, yeah.
More something that people can, gravitate towards to the, socially woke conscious people, to the point to where J. Cole had to say, I'm not an activist. He had to tell people that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And some people ended up even still respecting him more for saying that. I'll hear Drake talk about stuff that's going on in his city, people dying and things like that, and then he'll preface it, well, not preface it by, in the next line say that, but when I touch on it, it's not accepted. Or when I, become the first artist to do this in history, they're not saying it's the first black artist to do it in history. They're just saying it's Drake. And it's not because he's not touching on black issues. It's because of the perception behind him. And I feel like when he says, like, people look at Kendrick as the Black Messiah,
they do.
It's because
that he didn't ask for, by the way.
That he didn't ask for?
That he didn't ask for, by the way.
True, because he does say,
I'm not your savior.
I'm not your savior.
I also struggle with alcoholism and cheating and all types of weird shit. But because I use an interesting voice and a sax, you think I'm prolific, and now you're pigeonholing me and putting me in a box. And now I'm the Jesus pamphlet. I didn't ask for that. I just told my story the way that's created for me. Mm-hmm. That's, you know what I'm saying? This is just what I like.
Yeah, and it has nothing to do with Kendrick. He's releasing his art and people are consuming it and putting it out what's to be. But when we see what's going on right now currently, it's like Drake says, Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand him a Grammy right now. It's literally that. Yeah. He can't do no wrong.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be necessarily fire. Like, I respect Kendrick's rapping ability. Good Kid, Mad City still holds an important part of my life, like, from where it came from. But I just feel like when it comes to Drake, and he gonna have to show it now, because, even with the beef, he didn't necessarily get out-rapped. He got outmaneuvered. He got out-strategized. He, like you said, he was moving off emotion and not enough strategy. Like, we was listening to Taylor Made when we got here, and we were like, but the whole concept of this got Kendrick heated. Like Kendrick talked about it. Like it really I need to destroy this nigga. And you knew that record was so disrespectful. And yes, you came with Family Matters, which was a great diss, but you didn't have nothing else in the like you thought Family Matters was gonna be the one to end it.
Yeah, that was never gonna end it.
Like, and people don't talk about Meet the Grams because I mean there's no fake kid involved, so it kind of we just forget about that. But then 12 hours later he comes up Not Like Us, and that's when you decided to bow out.
Meet the Grams also is just not appealing.
Yeah. But
like,
yeah, you when it first dropped,
scary song, it's creepy.
Yeah,
he said what he had to say, but what he said on there, again, just not the fake kid didn't prove to be true, but that you're an immature man with barrettes in his hair. So it stuck. It added to the narrative of that you're not growing as a person, which is what like the conversation.
That's all he was pushing the whole time.
Yeah.
You're not growing as a person, and kind of proved the point based off how bro responded. So again, misplayed your hand, whether you have whatever ability or not. What I don't know and will probably never know, right, is if my Drake numbers and my DSPs are there because he's the better artist or because he was just putting music out more consistently. And I'll never know that because Kendrick wasn't adding the same numbers.
Who talking about? Like
Drake. My numbers on my Spotify are going to tell you that I listen to Drake more than Kendrick. But that was because Drake is putting out content like nobody's business, for one, and for two, I didn't like Mr. Morale, so I'm only not really. A lot of skippable tracks. I probably had like 5 records. Rich Spirit, Count Me Out, the song with Kodak. For a long time, the song with Kodak was the only song I listened to. And like maybe another record. I didn't really care for Miss, but I also that's not where I'm at. Again, it's wherever my ear is. I was wanting to dance, and you came with some real like therapy shit, and I wasn't in the mood for therapy shit. But I'm not gonna take away from you as an artist because I didn't like it. And that's all bruh said was get in the ring. Like, and that's all other bruh had to do was get in the ring. That's all I expected was y'all to get in the ring and just bar for bar. And that's not how that bit went. And I know that y'all don't feel like he was out-rapped. That's just where we got to agree to disagree. But I feel like he was out-rapped. I feel like Family Matters was cool. I'm not about to act like that was a bad record. The heart part, whatever he did.
The heart 6. I mean, yeah.
What are we saying? So maybe he wasn't out-rapped in theory, but if you're putting it song for song, Euphoria was the best song to come out of the battle.
Yeah, I agree.
And that was lyricism. That wasn't necessarily appealing for sure. But Euphoria got Not Like Us for me by a long. It took a long time for me to keep listening to Not Like Us. I started listening to Not Like Us when it got on the radio.
I think what kind of disappointed me with the whole Family Matters is that when Drake, towards the end, you could tell that Drake thought that was going to be the one.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, matter of
fact.
If
this is what you thought was going to be the one, you're going to lose this. Because this not shaking nothing. And your main objective was he's a woman. Like, that was your bombshell.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know what messed up Drake is that he took his previous experience from the last battles, the Pusha T to Meek, he took it into this battle. This battle wasn't about T. It wasn't about the gossiping, whatever. Even though,
it was in there.
It was in there, the pedophile thing.
It was an element.
But this battle is not about that. You should have took, I'm a better penman than you. I got better penmanship. And he didn't take that route. He got annihilated. Because at the end of the day, we know more about you. Even though we don't know much about you, but we know what we think we know about you more than we do about Kendrick.
Yep.
And Kendrick played on that. Like, you always they had a whole narrative. Right before the battle, you always with younger girls and stuff like that. You're immature. You're not growing up. And he literally played on every single part. So, hey, man, shout out to Drake, man.
And you played into his hand.
Literally. He told you.
He gave you your game plan. There was no way out. If I'm being honest with you, there was no way out after Brad decided he wasn't going to rap. After Drake decided he wasn't going to rap, there was no exit.
Oh, after
for
part
him.
6? Or are you talking about just in the beginning of the battle?
Just in general, with how he approached the battle. Once you decided that you weren't going to respond with lyricism and with rapping, and you decided you were going to go the messy route, there was no way out for you.
But I say he took his, because that's what worked for Pusha T. Like, if you go back to the Pusha T battle, he didn't win that because of he had a better song. He won it because
he dropped the bombshell.
He had a kid and he was in blackface.
Yeah.
And he played on the white Jewish Canadian aspect.
Yeah.
And he won that. So he took that into this one. Like, we don't care about, especially if there's no report coming about it. And even if there's a report, he's not in the limelight enough for us to care that, I don't want to sound crazy, but that he put hands on his wife. Like, we don't care that much. But we care that you may, be messing with little girls, even though that's not true. Yeah. So he just played his card wrong.
Lastly, Piph, before we end off, how do you feel about Drake filing the lawsuit? Do you feel like that was like a very weak move from what you probably seen about it? Do you understand it?
I feel like it's another emotional response because there's going to be some type of benefit for artists. If he wins, it's going to be rebranded as if he's this hero. The same way y'all say they do with Kendrick with the, you know what I mean, the whatever. He's going to be rebranded as some type of hero, but he didn't do it for that. He did it because it hit his pockets. The machine worked when it was working for you. Yeah. And now the machine is an issue because it's working against you. And now you're realizing you're in a slave contract because now you can't buy your way out of this. You can't make the money out of this because he's killing your numbers right now. So you file a lawsuit. There may be some benefit to it. There may be some merit to what you're saying, but your intention wasn't honorable. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's not what your intention was. That might just be a byproduct of what happens. So I think it was an emotional response, but also, like, I don't know what it's like to make millions of dollars a year and what it looked like to watch that number go down. And you know what I mean? Like, again, there's no way out for you. To now, you did the lawsuit. Now you're being clowned even more. There's no way for you to play this. If you went back to doing the club hits, he told you to make melodies, stop acting tough. If you started acting tough, they would have told you, like, this not really you. If you went conscious, he would have told you, they made you go take ayahuasca and you had to go talk to a therapist and that's why you came back a better man because Kendrick told you to go sit. There was no way out. The only option I feel like Drake had was to sit down and shut up. Take a quarter and come back next year and we would have moved on. We really would have moved. Or waited until after the Super Bowl, after bro made his Super Bowl announcement. But no, you're posting memes. You're going bowling and calling yourself 16. You're doing weird things that as somebody who is approaching 40, people who were fans of you as teenagers, I'm now approaching 30. 22-year-old me might have responded to this differently. 28-year-old me is like, you're weird, dude. You're being weird. Why you being weird? Stop acting weird. And he just keep doing more weird stuff. So I feel like that was a bad move. But if it's necessary for him, I understand.
Yep. Maybe before we end off, you got anything else you want to add on to that?
No, that kind of goes to the point where I was saying that. The lawsuit, if he was going to drop the lawsuit, drop it after you drop some fire addressing everything that happened. Yeah. Because then it would have looked different. Yeah. Right now you're suing because you lost. Yeah. As opposed to
you're suing as your response.
You could have put in your song the reason why I'm about to whatever you about to do. Make us understand. Yeah. Whatever. And you could have even told Kendrick, I didn't lose because of you. Yeah. And you could have really played on that aspect. But and like you said, all the social media. One thing I hate is a red button. That every time I see a red button, I get triggered. Because the whole time he telling me he was going to drop he had a red button. He ain't pressing that one time. I don't like that. Yeah, I feel like I was lying.
Yeah, and now we made it to look like liars. Because you couldn't have told me this was going to happen.
You couldn't tell me you had nothing better than Family Matters.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Pip, before we end off, let the people know what they could tune into, what you got going, and where they can find you at, man.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Piphisms, Piphisms. I am on Twitter. I'm not a good influence on Twitter. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me Piphism.
At your own risk.
At your own risk.
Yeah, she be talking about like Kendrick, but Pimp Butterfly's a good album and all that shit. Don't follow her.
For those of you who understand palette.
I know,
and that artist subjective.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Y'all can follow me.
Maybe I'm talking from an emotional place.
It's fair. I think that's what makes it fun. But for me, just a quick pivot. I know we plugging ourselves, but for that to me was what was fun about it. I didn't think it was serious until bruh started airing dirty laundry. Bro just said, MF the big three is just big me. What rapper do you know don't feel that way? That's the whole point of like you're supposed to be braggadocious. That's the whole thing. And to me, it was gonna be fun. Drake fans gonna be Kendrick fans gonna be and we would have laughed it off. And then it got dark, and I was like, oh.
Until you find out they really don't like each other.
They really don't like each other for real. Like this is real. With that being said, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. I will be dropping a book first quarter next year. I will be on tour.
Just wait on it,
God willing. The next 2 quarters after that, and then hopefully dropping music the last quarter of next year. So that's my plan. God willing. That's how it's gonna be.
Yes, sir. Make sure you guys tune into everything Piph got going on. Be on the lookout for everything she's about to put out. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. It's Kyle the Kid, Mega the Boy, and Piph. And we're out.
You did.
Yes, sir.